now we're doing the video for the arms fall forward protocol, and Alex is going to demonstrate for us how to do the latissimus dorsi foam roll. So the key thing to remember here is he's staying lateral, and he's not going up into the armpit area. That's the brachial plexus, and there's a lot of nerves and blood vessels in there that we don't want to injure. So he's going from just below that armpit area up to about halfway, going up and down that lat muscle. Again, you can pivot backward, forward a little bit, looking for those tender spots. Find a tender spot, you hold for 30 to 45 seconds, or until it releases. And then Alex is going to go onto his back, and he's going to show us how to do the foam roll for the thoracic spine. Arms are all like that. You're going from the neck, about halfway down your back. You might get a little clicking, popping, snapping, that's okay. Just looking for those tender spots. Hold for 30 to 45 seconds if you find any. Okay, now we're going to go to the static stretches. Alex is going to come over to our table here. He's going to demonstrate how to do a static stretch of the latissimus muscles. Sometimes it's called a prayer stretch. We're going to go down to his knees. One of the few times where I actually tell my clients to allow their back to round, so he's not going to arch his back. Because the last few into this tissue here are called the thoracolumbar fascia. So when it rounds, it gives it a better stretch. Thumbs are in the up position to prevent impingement. As you can see, Alex has a lot of mobility there. And you're going to hold for 30 to 45 seconds to stretch those lat muscles out. Okay, very good. Then, following along your chart, pectoralis muscles. For videoing purposes, we're going to pretend this is our doorway. And so Alex has his arm at a 90-90 position. He's going to put his arm into the doorway. He's going to lean into it, rotating. So he's actually rotating his chest that way to get a stretch here. So I'm holding, and he's just turning until he feels a stretch in that pec muscle for 30 to 45 seconds. Okay, good. Now we're going to move on to the isolated strength exercises. So a TheraBand row. So Alex is going to take his TheraBand there. I'm going to hold the table. So before we start doing, Alex has got his chest high, his stomach's in tight, knees are slightly bent, he's getting in that power position, and he's just going to do some rowing for me. So I'm going to hold here, and he's just going to pull the elbows back, shoulders are down, chest is high, stomach's in tight. And I like to say, imagine you have a walnut between those shoulder blades, you're going to crush that walnut. So come back, pinch those shoulder blades together, perfect. And breathing, you exhale with exertion. So you would exhale as he's pulling back, inhale as he's coming out. Okay, very good. Next is the TheraBand tees. I'm actually going to have Alex just look at the camera without the TheraBand. What he's going to do, he's going to be hands are up about chest height. His thumbs are pointing towards me. This one's there, this one's there. And all he's going to do is open them up. He's going to make a T with his arms. Good. Knees are bent, stomach's in tight, chest is high, and he's going to pinch those shoulder blades together. Posture, posture, posture. Very good. Squeeze, hold, and back. Perfect. That's called the T, TheraBand T. You can use a TheraBand for added resistance, but initially when I first teach my clients this, I don't use any resistance at all. I just using the arms. Okay. So TheraBand internal and external rotation. To put the rotator cuff muscles in a safer position, I always use a towel or something soft underneath the arm. So if the arm is right at the side, it puts the rotator cuff muscles at more of an angle. So it's like taking a rope and running it across the edge of a wall. After a while, that rope's going to fray. When you use a towel like this, it takes and allows the rotator cuff muscles to be at more of a rounded corner, and it's safer for them. So, nice towel, some object that'll hold you out a little bit. Pinch the shoulders back and down, knees are bent, chest is high again. Posture, posture, posture. Alex is going to hold the band. Now you can tie this off on a doorknob, any place where it's going to be stable. And I'm going to hold. Alex is only going to go from his belly button to where he's pointing straight out, that 90-degree arc. So the wrist is going to stay neutral, good. To the belly button, and then rotate out right to there, boom. Shoulder blades are back and down, don't let that shoulder forward, you want perfect posture. Pinch those shoulder blades together, belly's in tight, okay. So if you're going to the belly button, straight out. And that's the only arc of motion. We don't want to wing out any farther than that. Very good. So that's your external rotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the other arm to demonstrate internal rotation. Again, Alex is going to do the exact same thing we went through. Shoulders are back and down, knees are bent, chest is high, belly's in tight. Hands up here like this, very good. And he's just now going to pull towards the belly. There you go, good. So now the resistance is when he goes to internal rotation. Just like that, perfect posture. Good. All right, you can go ahead and rest. Take your gadgets from me. So for scaption, the last one of the isolated strength exercises, it's halfway between a front raise and a lateral raise. It's halfway between those two. So it's about anywhere from a 30 to 45 degree angle in. Alex will demonstrate for us with the 3-pound dumbbells. So perfect posture. Again, you're working your way up, right? Feet are shoulder width, knees are bent, belly's are tight, chest is high, shoulders are backing down. He's going to maintain that power position, and he's going to come right up to about shoulder height, no higher than that. So I like to say pocket to shoulder, pocket to shoulder. Perfect. Pinch my fingers between your shoulder blades, hold that position. So just to where you're about parallel with the floor. Good. That's your scaption. Last but not least, we're going to do our squat to row. Again, we took and we're addressing all these muscle imbalances, and now we want to do a total body integrated movement to allow the muscles to function and to fire when they're supposed to fire. So we're correcting those impairments. So, Alex is going to demonstrate a squat to row. The easiest way I explain this to my clients is imagine you're pulling yourself up out of a chair. Because sometimes it can be a little confusing and hard for people to understand what you're asking with this exercise. So imagine you're grabbing something and you're pulling yourself up out of the chair. Okay? So Alex is going to stabilize our table. And you always want to remind your clients not to lean backwards. This is just a rubber band. It snaps, they're going to go flying. I've seen it happen. It's not pretty. You might want to step back a little bit. So just like Alex did there, what happens is if you're too close and there's no resistance, it makes it a little harder for you to stay stable. So I always have my clients go back, and then you're going to rub, just like Alex just did. One fluid movement. One of my favorite exercises right here. Arm squat as you go down, getting that butt out, boom, perfect, Alex. And that's what you're going to do 3 sets of 10. 1 set of 10, work your way up to 3 sets, just like that. And that's it for all of the corrective exercise protocols. So now we've looked at movement impairments, we've corrected those impairments. You're going to do them from 2 to 4 weeks, and then once you're done with correcting those impairments, if you find any impairments, then you move on to the stabilization program.